What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's been a little over a month since I've done a video, and I figured it's about time to get back to doing this. I had an okay holiday season. It was kind of hard, but we're just taking it a day at a time here. And I hope your holiday season, whatever you celebrate, Christmas, whatever. Hope your holiday season was awesome too. Um, so let's get down to this. This video is about tonight's TNA Genesis pay-per-view. You can't even call them pay-per-views anymore because 75% of these, if not more, they're they're not even charging for them. They're putting them on television, and that's not even a pay-per-view. That's just another show. And it's just this this video isn't a rant per se. It's more of a, let's just say there was more things wrong with this show tonight than there were right. As far as there was a lot more negatives than positives. And I'm going to cover, different aspects of it and talk about each thing a little bit. So to start off with, tonight's show, Genesis pay-per-view, which is not a pay-per-view, they actually split this into two shows. This is the first half of Genesis, and they made this tremendous deal, like, oh, this show's so big we had to make it into two shows so you get the second half of Genesis next week. It's like, really? Is that really a positive thing? It's like, people look forward to this. They want to see it all in one night. They don't want to be like, oh, by the way, half the matches, yeah, we're going to put them on next week's show. Okay, there's your first thing right there. Just horrible promotion. So we kick it off. The entire first half hour, if not more, was complete garbage. Now, some of you may like this this new Dixie Carter, this evil, vindictive bitch of a character that she's become. Trying to improve her show, and at the same time trying to portray another sadistic Stephanie McMahon wannabe character, something to that effect. I would rather honestly listen to Vicky Guerrero scream for an hour and a half than to listen to Dixie Carter talk and rant and keyword try to act. It's absolutely horrible. So she brings out everybody, and it's everyone that's behind her and supporting her, and it's just nonsense listening to her talk nonstop for like a half an hour and bringing out all these people. Then Sting comes out and he's like, oh yeah, well, I got something to say about that and whatever. Brings out a bunch of his guys, and it turns into a big brawl. And so by the time this is all actually trying to go somewhere, I got so frustrated I went to go get a snack, came back, and a match ensued. It was a 12-man match. Team Dixie, so it was Daniels, Kaz, DJ, Zima Ion, the Bromans, and Lady Tapa against Team Sting, which was Samoa Joe, James Storm, Gunner, Eric Young, Joseph Park, and ODB. Well, Samoa Joe got the win for Team Sting, which was fine, but it was such a mess of a match because, like I said, it started out a brawl, and everybody was fighting outside the ring. And finally, when they did get the match to where it looked like a match, it didn't amount to anything. Just a horrible start to this show. Just not good. You try to build up to something big, and it was what you would call a hot mess. It really was. And there was a little segment backstage where Simon Diamond was trying to compliment that new character Sam Shaw. Well, Sam Shaw's been around for a while, but they're redoing his character. They're making him a crazy psycho, and Simon Diamond ends up getting beat down from Samuel. And I like where this gimmick is going. I mean, the kid's got talent, and they're really they're really doing something with him. It should be interesting to see where his character goes. Like I said, this isn't all negative. There are some positives. It's just the positives are so few and far in between lately. It's it's getting really hard to watch it. It really is. I don't want TNA to go away. I don't want TNA to fail by any means. But they've got to do something drastic quick, because that that's a sinking ship right there, man. And they keep firing more and more people. I'm not even going to get into that right now. But anyways, back to the show. So yeah, Simon Diamond gets beat down by Samuel Shaw. Then there's the Anderson Bully Ray match. That was no DQ, and that was okay. That was probably the biggest improvement of the last, for the 2 hours we watched this. Bully Ray won with the pile driver. That was a sweet looking pile driver too. And considering, I was thinking about this later. Considering Anderson just had twins, which congratulations, that's awesome. And he finished him off with a pile driver. That's pretty brutal. I mean, as sweet as old school fans like some of that stuff, they don't do it much, just because you can really, it's a career-ending move, if you don't do it right. This might be the way that they're trying to run him off of TV for a while. Anderson off of TV for a while, considering he did just have twins, so maybe he wants to go be a dad for a while. Just a guess, I could be completely off. He might be back next week. Who knows? Oh no, wait. Next week is the second half of the pay-per-view. Never mind, he's done. So then we get another segment with Dixie. Dixie's just all through the whole thing. It's one thing to have the authoritative figure, at one big part of the show, make your big heel statement, whatever, but she's through the whole damn show. It's just, I had to go get a beer. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This absolutely sucks. She's arguing with Kurt Angle. Then the next thing is the knockouts match, and that was okay, but it was so quick. It was like a 4-minute match. It was Gail Kim versus Madison Rayne. Hardly, if you blinked, you missed it. But Madison Rayne is the new knockouts champ. And then they do a promo saying, TNA, the real new era is here. Okay. Then we get a backstage segment. This is what I was looking forward to the entire show, which I felt a little ripped off, but nonetheless, it was the debut backstage, not in ring, but backstage debut of Davey Richards and Eddie Edwards from Ring of Honor. Now, they were supposed to join the WWE recently. They had a tryout, and you kept hearing little things like, it doesn't look like Triple H is going to hire him and whatever. And, okay, well, if you follow the independent scene, you kept hearing stuff like, they were, at this show, and they were at that show, and they were saying their goodbyes. Well, why are they still saying their goodbyes if Triple H isn't going to hire them for for NXT and the WWE? Well, they're in TNA now, which is, it's kind of like, why are you jumping on a sinking ship? Well, they are incredibly talented. And it certainly is a positive thing for TNA to pick up this tag team, because they have no tag teams right now. Seriously, their tag team champs, the Bromans, have no competition besides Christopher Daniels and Kaz. Oh, and they throw Eric Young and Joseph Park together, but I don't even count that. Can you really count that as a tag team? It's, they need to do some drastic things, bring in some tag teams, new talent. Make it's called Impact. So make an impact, guys, because you got to save the show. Seriously, not saying these are the only things that are going to save the show, but it's going to help them, in the long run, assuming they don't lose their TV deal. Uh, but so Dixie's like, yeah, you're gonna, get your tryout match next week, and they're like, David Richards is like, what are you talking about? And he pulls out of his pocket, he's got contracts, hands her the contracts. He's like, oh yeah, the new investor for TNA signed us this morning, and she's like, what? So yeah, that's another new side thing along with this little storyline that we're gonna see some kind of new investor come in, and it's gonna be someone going against Dixie. So that'll be kind of cool. Who's it gonna be? I'll get to that in a second. Then we had, to wrap it up, we had Ethan Carter III, EC3 against Sting, which is another quick match. And just, the whole show just was a basically hot mess. There weren't many positive points throughout this. Magnus came out and was a ref for the match and screwed Sting. Then Sting got pissed and challenged him for the TNA Heavyweight Championship, which is going to happen next week, even though they filmed it tonight. Now, to add to that, there have been some rumors floating around the web the last, was it today, 3 days, that Sting's not under contract anymore and that the WWE's been talking to him. The stipulation behind this match is if Sting loses, he's not going to be under contract anymore. Well, he's not already under contract. So, if he loses this match, which I'm assuming he's not going to win, is he going to go to the WWE? That's like the big news. I mean, every year at this time, within the last 3-4 years, it's been like the biggest news with Sting. Is he going to go to the WWE, make an appearance, wrestle Undertaker, go in the Hall of Fame, whatever? This might be the actual closest we might see him to actually doing it, because, and the only reason why I think is big news on Monday is the Ultimate Warrior is going into the Hall of Fame, and I'll do a video on that too soon. But that'd be pretty slick to have the Ultimate Warrior and Sting both go in the Hall of Fame on the same night. Not as the Blade Runners, not as the tag team they started out at, just together on the same night, on the same card, you could say, for the WWE Hall of Fame 2014. That'd be pretty sweet. Think about that. Ultimate Warrior and Sting. Same show, one night. That'd be something. So, maybe that's what they want to do. That'd be kind of cool. That's a nice little piece of wrestling history there, because those guys started out together. And of all people that would maybe induct them, Zeb Coulter, believe it or not. When he was Dutch Mantle back in the old, days, he was their manager when they were a tag team. Maybe. Could happen. So yeah, the whole show, back to the show now. The whole show was just a hot mess. A couple positives here and there. It was nice to see the guys from ROH debut. Got a new Knockouts champ. Nice no DQ match. Just not a good show though. And they're going to wrap it up next week, so we'll see what happens with Sting and everything, and get the news on the rumors and see what happens leading up to WrestleMania. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Good night.